All right. Hello, hello. Is that better? As far as I can see, it looks like the audio is much better and the video quality. Uh, so, Quadro, is it better? Audio matching, image quality looking all right. All right. Um, cool guys. Both are much better. Thank you. I think from now on, when I do a live stream, I'm just gonna do the simple stuff. I'm not. I don't know how those other YouTubers do it. They make it look easy. But once again, welcome back. This is Moose from Moose's Gear Goo Review. And today I'm going to be talking about the gear or the items that I picked up at the the fall 2018 Outdoor Adventure Expo. The Outdoor Adventure Expo, real quick, is a kind of trade show by Midwest Mountaineering, which is one of the nation's premier outdoor retailers. Um, it's an awesome camping, backpacking, wilderness adventure, rafting, kayaking, mountaineering store here in Minnesota. It's like the best. And every year they open up their store and space, and they put on an event twice a year. And one is in the spring, one is in the fall, and basically it's an opportunity to take workshops from some of the leading experts in wilderness fields, like I said, from canoeing and everything else. Yes, I do live in Minnesota. Yeah, it makes sense. Moose, Minnesota Moose. I don't know, but either way, Midwest Mountaineering is in Minneapolis, and this year it was a little bit different, a little bit smaller, and it was interesting how they kind of predicted that it would be a little bit smaller, but definitely the biggest one is in the spring. But the fall one still offers all the quality of either one. It's just really great. So I took a couple workshops real quick. I took a couple workshops. Um, I normally take more, but I was running short on time. But the one I took that I really liked was from the Bull Moose Patrol. I believe it's called the Bull Moose Party or something. The Bull Moose Patrol. Look him up. He's a local guy here, and he does kind of wilderness survival education and stuff. And he did a workshop on the basics of wilderness survival. And a lot of it I've already heard, but it was really nice because he just kind of said, cut out all the crap about making traps out of twigs and leaves and rubber bands or whatever. Most survival situations, you're going to be stuck out of the woods for 3 days, maybe 5 at the most. So you just need to focus on those 3 to 5 days and learn the skills you need for those 3 to 5 days. Learning how to trap and build hair like trigger traps and other stuff and more advanced primitive skills really won't pay off in an immediate survival situation. That's more like long-term survival. So it was pretty cool that he was pointing those things out, and it was much more practical information, and I found it really helpful. That being said, besides awesome workshops, they have a tent full of other vendors that have resorts or lodges for both travel, more or less trip planning companies and outfitters, so you can plan your trip into the Boundary Waters or the Rockies or down to South America. So it is pretty cool, as well as like other like eco activism groups trying to protect our wilderness areas and protect our wildlife. So it's awesome that they're able to have a space where they can share their information and reach a wider audience. Okay, so now getting into the gear, the big reason why I go there is to check out what's new or just look at new products. I'm a gear junkie, straight up. You all know that. Hey, how's it going, Wizards Unite University? I wonder what that channel's about. Just kidding. No, check out that channel if you're into Harry Potter. There's a new game coming out, and it looks pretty sweet. But So the gear. So I got a bunch of stuff. Usually I focus on gear, but I'm pretty much to the point where I really don't need anything else. So I try to keep it budget friendly. Um, but these are some of the items that I picked up. And sometimes too, they give out coupons for the actual event. And so you can get a pretty good deal on certain stuff. And they definitely highlight certain products. But this is one of the first things I got. It is a collapsible spork. Now, in the backpacking world, there's tons of different eating utensils. This one's a combination of metal and plastic, but I thought it was pretty neat. You just slide it back, and then it folds down flat and small. Really simple, not that complicated. And you just need to reline that, and there you go. So, and this is definitely one of the more cheaper option utensils that folds down and compacts. So I might actually start carrying this in my pocket because you never know when you're gonna, come across a bowl of soup or something. So that's one item. That's the GSI folding foon. It's the foon. You check that out. Along those lines, they did have a coupon for the Let My Fire Spork. Now, this is probably the most popular backpacking wilderness utensil out there, but this one comes in titanium. So I decided to pick one up. I do love these things. Honestly, I use these almost daily. I'd rather almost have a whole kitchen drawer full of these, taking up one spot where either you get a fork or a spoon, rather than having two separate things to save space. But I got a titanium one. I'll definitely probably be testing this out and maybe doing a solo review or just a review on sporks and eating utensils in the backcountry. Let's see. Any questions on that? That's super cool. Okay, thanks. Awesome. This one might be a surprise. I don't really. You'll see why I got this if I can pull this off. But basically, if you check my videos, I did a gift giving gear idea list last year, and this year I wanted to come up with some other products to give gifts for EDC, backpacking, and travel. So I picked up this because you can't just think about the dudes. I got a Go Girl, which probably wondering what's a Go Girl. Basically, it's a silicone funnel that allows women to pee standing up. Okay, that's enough about that. But I got one, so I won't be reviewing it, but it will hopefully be a part of my gift guide video. I know it's strange. I'm sorry. Next up, they also had a coupon. You're going to use the Go. No, I'm not going to use the Go Girl. You don't have to just use it for peeing. You could probably use it to put fuel into a fuel canister. You can use it in any other normal application for a funnel. So you got to think outside the box. Just because it's pink doesn't mean, whatever. Never mind. I'm not having this debate. But good question. No, I'm not going to use it for what it's intended for. But they also had this Trango ration capsule, it's called. Basically, it's just a little pouch. I decided to get it because I'm going to use this to actually put all my live stream gear in. So my webcam, my Go mic, which you want to see, this is kind of how I'm like ghetto rigged here. This is my mic. It's pretty small there, but whatever. Yeah. So I'll put that in this with the cords as well as the Logitech, whatever number this is. And that's going to be kind of my go-to thing. But basically, this is designed for mountain climbers, just so that they hook it onto their harness along with all their other carabiners and clips and whatnot, so that they can carry just a couple snacks or their cell phone or whatever else. And cool thing is it snaps shut, so it kind of has that extra security, so things aren't going to fall out. So I got that. And next, I got Max Bar. There's a guy there. He was giving samples of this, and I tasted it, and it was really good. And I'm planning to do a Moose Eats So with this, even though I taste it, typically in Moose Eats, I try not to taste the product beforehand, but it was really good, and the guy is just getting started, so I decided to pick one up, and it's a date and nut bar, and so far my first impressions of it was really good. So hopefully when I do the review, you'll see my other reactions. Okay, we're getting down to it. I'll save the two bigger items that I'm actually really excited about, but I'll share these ones. So I've done a video, a booth interview at one of my other vlogs about the Outdoor Adventure Expo with Trailtopia Trail Foods. It's a backpacking food company in Minnesota. I think it's in Mankato somewhere. Yeah, I think it's in Mankato. If not, I'll put the link in the description once I upload this or once I get the information in. But basically, they put out these oatmeals. Now, price-wise, yes, you shouldn't have to pay like $3 for oatmeal, but I can feel it that it isn't just a single like oatmeal packet. It's definitely like a full meal, and the flavors are interesting. So chocolate raspberry and brown sugar raisin. I got the brown sugar raisin one mostly because it is the highest in calories. And when you're backpacking, you want to try to bring really high calorie, high protein foods to recharge your body after a long day of hiking. So picked up 2 different oatmeals from them. And then the new exciting thing that I saw that they put out is their normal dinners, which are 2 servings, but it's gluten-free. So for all you gluten-free backpackers, gluten-free hikers, whatever, looking for those more compact, lightweight, freeze-dried meals, there's a gluten-free option out there, and that's put out by Trailtopia. I'm sure there's other companies that probably also do a gluten-free option, but I'm not familiar with those yet. But I can tell you right now that Trailtopia has some options for you, and they had different rice noodles, like ramen ones, as well as these full meals. Now, the last 2 products I'm pretty excited about. One, because I intend to use it to plan out a new summer hiking trip. And hopefully my foot heals up by then, so we'll see. But I got the guide to hiking the North Country Trail in Minnesota. So this is the written book guide with maps and trail info to get you through the trail, at least the Minnesota section. So if you look right here, the North Country Trail is actually one of the largest trails in America, and it only spans half of the northern border of the U.S. here. So you start somewhere like in New York, and you hike all the way out across through Ohio, Michigan, the UP, Wisconsin, Minnesota, into North Dakota. And I think initially they intend to connect it all the way to the Pacific Crest Trail, which is huge. So it ends at the ending spot, I believe, or they want it to end at the ending spot of the Appalachian Trail, the northern terminus, and then bring it connected all the way to the Pacific Crest Trail, which is pretty far. So yeah, super excited for this book. I'll tell you right now, I am a squatcher. If you didn't know that, if you don't know what squatching is, you can Google it. But the part of this trail actually hikes through the Superior National Forest right by Reamer, Minnesota, which is known as the Bigfoot capital of Minnesota or the world. I don't even know. Minnesota. Well, it's the Bigfoot capital of Minnesota. So if I do that section, I might see something. If it's real, I don't know. So the last thing is this. This is the Mountain Smith slingback chair. So I think Gideon's Tactical is the only one that I've seen really review this. But being out in the woods and hiking, if you see my Superior Hiking Trail vlog, I would sit down for lunch, and you could sit on a log or on a rock, but you never had a backrest unless you're leaning up against a tree. This kind of solves that problem. It uses two trekking poles onto this piece of fabric, and then it more or less creates a backrest for you, and you can sit on the ground. And I thought it was pretty neat. And initially, when I saw Gideon Tactical's review, I thought that it was going to be a lot heavier, but it's actually pretty light, and it has this clip to keep it closed. But oops. Once you actually get it off, it's actually really light and oops, pretty interesting. So you sit somewhere like this. I know it doesn't make sense because it just looks like a big long piece of fabric, and basically it is, but you put the trek poles in these two pockets up here and press them into the ground, and then you're good to go. So yeah, there's that. So that's it. That's basically all the gear I got at the Midwest Mountaineering Adventure Expo 2018 Fall Edition. If you're in Minnesota and you're looking for something to do, definitely check them out. Like I said, I'll eventually put a link in the description below for their website. Other than that, feel free to ask me any questions besides if I'm going to use the Go Girl. But yeah, so other than that, as far as like trips I'm planning, I try not to go out in the woods during hunting season just because I don't want to accidentally get injured. I want to try to get back into bushcrafting more. I've been looking at purchasing a new bushcrafting knife. But any Black Friday deals you know about? That's a good question. I don't think REI, which is a camping store, doesn't really. They've been on that whole thing of, don't spend money on Black Friday. So they are closed on Thanksgiving or Black Friday or something like that. But I do know that over the weekend, like Saturday and Sunday, Midwest Mountaineering, I believe, will have some deals. Other than that, I know Amazon has a ton of different deals, but I don't know for sure if it relates to any sort of backpacking or hiking. I will be coming out with a gift guide for outdoor related gift ideas, and I usually try to keep the budget under $20, so you can look forward to that. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Amazon might have a couple of things, but as far as what I'm looking for, I really want a replica knife. There's a knife known as the Horace Kephart knife, and Horace Kephart was a librarian who documented. He basically wrote like the first outdoor guide to like living in the woods and like bushcraft and stuff, and they made a replica of his knife, and I'd be interested in picking that up, but no. What was your favorite booth this year? I didn't really stop at any of the booths. The surprising thing was that the booths, the vendors that were there, it was much smaller. Normally they have two really large tents. This year they only had one. So they limited the amount of vendors or booths that were there. And I didn't really walk around to look at the booths this year because, like I said, I was pretty much didn't have any time. I just had enough time to go in and shop and then get out. So I didn't see anything specifically new, but yeah, so didn't talk much with that. I guess the booth I liked the most was this Max Bars guy, and I guess he actually has a cafe or something in the Skyway in Minneapolis somewhere called Max's Cafe. So he has a coffee shop, and then he decided to do one of these trail food nutrition bars, and I really like it. I just question the packaging slightly. It does have a perforated top there that you probably can't see, but and it just doesn't seem like airtight. So I don't know exactly what the shelf life is on this. It looks like about a month, so I better do the review of this thing quick before it hardens up. And that's a little tip or trick for anyone. If you're into fig bars, like the Lara bars, and you want to know they're fresh, they're going to be more soft and tender. Fig will naturally start to harden up and the sugars will crystallize or whatever. So that's one thing. I am excited, though, to crack this bad boy open. I've used these things for years, the plastic ones. And let's just open it now, I guess. Oh, there we go. And here it is. So this is the titanium one. It's metal. It shouldn't snap on me, though it will probably snap. It's cool. It has like a matte gray finish here to give some texture and grip, and then it's like polished smooth. So, and now that part's actually sharp finally. So pretty cool. But still, which one's smaller, you know? So I don't know. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. I'm trying to figure this live stream out. Hopefully the audio and video looks good. And stay tuned for the next one. I'll try to get back on the video thing and get some nice videos up. I finally have some time off. Other than that, thank you so much. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving if you're in America. Eat some turkey, eat some pie, and try to get outside because I'll see you outside. So like, comment, and subscribe. And like I already said, I'll see you outside. Peace.